Welcome to Selenium WebDriver Automation Training. So, the current architecture of Selenium WebDriver looks like three parts. The first one is binding, the binding of your programming language, the binding of your test script. The second part is Selenium WebDriver API. The third one, the actual browser which the application under test is running. So this language binding is nothing but the scripts which we are going to write in a supporting programming language. The middleman, the Selenium WebDriver API, will execute the commands returned using the language binding to the drivers. The third part, the driver object, is nothing but which will help you to instantiate your browser as well as to interact with the respective browser. In WebDriver, for each browser, there will be a separate driver components available. So for execute your test cases in a specific browser, you have to download and set up the particular driver in your application. As we discussed, cross-browser testing is one of the most important feature in web application testing. This Selenium WebDriver will support multiple browsers, not only in a Windows, it will support in all the available platform including Mac and Linux. So you can execute your test cases in Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Opera, as well as the Android and iOS browsers without changing the test cases, but only re-edit your driver objects. Even though this WebDriver tool have most convenient or efficient way to automate your web application, it has few drawbacks which will affect our test execution. The first one, there is no specific reporting architecture within the tool. So you have to use any other tool along with your WebDriver to get the validation of your test cases as well as to generate the reports to share among your stakeholders. The second one, as the entire tool is open source, there is no official technical support. If you want any help, there is a Google Groups which is used by developers as well as the users of Selenium WebDriver. So you can post your queries there and get the support from non-official team. The third one, as we saw, this tool is completely for web application testing. So it will not support any of your Windows application, including your file upload and download feature of web application. From the web, if you click upload or download, your application is going to navigate or going to open a window application for the folder structure. That particular window cannot be handled using your WebDriver tool. And the most important one, this WebDriver tool is supporting the current available browsers. If in future, if there is any new browsers comes up, you cannot directly execute your test cases in that browser. You need to write the object or the driver object for the particular browser. Then you can start executing your test cases in the particular browser. Until your driver objects is ready, you cannot execute the test cases in the respective new browsers. So, the middle part of your architecture, the WebDriver API is nothing but combinations of or pre-executed program files. As I told, this tool will support multiple programming language to write your test cases. Among those, we are going to choose Java as our programming language. As Java is a purely object-oriented programming language, Java Selenium, the Java API of WebDriver is most wanted one in the market. So, we are going to use the Java based client libraries of WebDriver and also Eclipse as our development environment. So, if your system doesn't have Java support, means if the JDK is not installed in your system, please download and install the JDK environment. Then we can use Eclipse as our development environment. It is not necessary that you have to use the Eclipse alone. Other than that, if you are familiar with any other tools, any other IDEs like NetBeans, you can use the same for your development. So now we'll see how to download as well as set up your project to start writing the script for automating a web application. As we already saw, all the downloads of Selenium tools can be performed by the Selenium HQ site. So navigate to this Selenium HQ site, open this URL. The next one, you have to set up your Eclipse to start writing your test cases. So you can download the latest Eclipse tool from the given site. So double click that exe file. It will open for the folder structure which we have to choose as a workspace. Workspace is nothing but a place or a folder structure where you are going to store your scripts. So give any proper or a easiest folder structure to open. So open your Eclipse. Make sure your system have the JDK environment before you start your Eclipse. If JDK is not available, you can't open your Eclipse file to edit and run your test cases. So once you open your Eclipse, you have a right corner of Project Explorer, and the middle one will be the place where you are going to write and edit your test cases as well as to execute your test cases. The right corner will be the particular file outline. So the first thing, we have to create a plain Java project. Go to File, New, go to Other. From the list, choose Java project. Click Next. Give or specify a valid, meaningful project name. It will take the default JRE from your system. So in this place, we are not going to change anything. Click Finish so that your project creation is done. So if you see here, once the project is created, as it is a Java project, the JRE libraries is already added with your project. It means that you are ready to write your Java application. So in this, the SRC is a base folder, or you can say a base package. Package is nothing but a folder structure in terms of Java. So we are going to create another child package under this SRC. Right click, go to new, select package. Give a valid package name. So if you are going to open, or if you are going to create a multiple packages, you can name that as a dot separator. If you are not looking for that, you can simply give a single package name. Click finish. So your package is ready to write your Java code. In Java, everything is a class file. So you have to create a first class file to start writing your code. Right click, new class. You have to provide a valid class name. So we need the public static void main method to execute our class file. So include that by clicking this checkbox. Click finish. So without writing a piece of code, this Eclipse IDE provided a default class file with the basic structure. So now we have created a simple Java project, and we have created a class file which have the class name and the public static void main. This public static void main is the execution point of your class file. So for this project, only the JRE library is included. You cannot use, or you cannot write any Selenium code in this project. So to set up our Selenium configuration, right click the entire project, navigate to build path, configure build path, navigate to libraries, click add external libraries, choose the folder where you have downloaded the Selenium jar files. The first one, choose the Selenium server standalone jar file. Again, we have to add more jar files. We have already added only the server component. Now choose the client libraries, which is nothing but Selenium Java jar as well as the jar files within library folder, libs folder. Choose all the jar files, click OK. Once you added, click OK in your build path pop-up. So now we have configured a set of referenced libraries, nothing but our Java, Selenium files. So now my project or my Java class can understand the components from Selenium WebDriver API.